In a world where fairways meet the airwaves, where birdies and banker collide, welcome to the show that takes you beyond the clubhouse and onto the green. This is Balls and Tees, your passport to the golfing universe, where every swing tells a story and every putt has its punchline. Get ready to step onto the last greens and dive into the world of divots, drives, and delightful banter.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is the one and only Tony Tone, the magician, the boy with a lot of flair. And yes, I am a classic man. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to yet another beautiful episode of the one and only Balls and Tees. Listen, if it's the first time you hear this voice on your airwaves, then you definitely have been listening to the wrong frequency. But I can tell you something, Balls and Tees is the best there is when it comes to social golf talk. And today is going to be another hot episode. Now, for those who don't even know how the show goes by, I'm just going to give you a quick tip to say, ladies and gentlemen, just make sure that from the get-go, you've got yourself ice cold glass of water. Although it is quite gloomy here in Gauteng, you still need that ice cold glass of water because you're going to be sweating. We're going to have a fruitful conversation with my guest today. And then whilst we're having that conversation, I actually want to hear from you guys. Please go onto our social media pages and then make sure that you comment. If you want to be a part of the show next week, let me know and then I'll get you on. So, ladies and gentlemen, without wasting any further time, let's go for our 2-minute break and then make sure that you get that ice cold glass of water. When you come back, Tony Tone will be ready with you with our guest who's eagerly waiting to come through and tell us exactly what has been happening in this world of golf. So let's go for that 2-minute break. When we come back, we will do what we have to do.
In a world where fairways meet the airwaves, where birdies and banker collide, welcome to the show that takes you beyond the clubhouse and onto the green. This is Balls and Tees, your passport to the golfing universe, where every swing tells a story and every putt has its punchline. Get ready to step onto the last greens and dive into the world of divots, drives, and delightful banter.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, please relax now because you got yourself that ice cold glass of water. It is still the one and only Tony Tone, the magician. Everybody wonders why they call me the magician. Listen, you have to see me on the golf course. You have to see the things that I do when I'm on the golf course. Hence the word or the name, the magician. Ladies and gentlemen, I promised you a hot episode and I cannot emphasize the fact that, listen, if you're wearing a jacket, take it off. If you don't have any cold beverage next to you, go get them now before I introduce our guest. Because this guest comes, listen, I want to say he comes packing because he's got a lot of entourage behind him. There's a lot of people who are waiting to hear him speak. So I need a drum roll for this one. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me in welcoming Mr. Mandlam Simang. Good man.
Yebo, how are you?
I'm good in yourself, sir.
Can't complain also here.
Awesome stuff. Mr. Simang, you know, I tried to introduce you, but I just couldn't get the right note. I just couldn't hit the right note when I was trying to introduce you. Perhaps if you can reintroduce yourself and let our audience know who Mandlam Simang is.
Yeah, my name is Mandlam
What's happening
Simang.
in your space when it comes to golf? And
Yeah, my name is Mandlam Simang. I'm a social golfer and also a business person and a member of a very great school called the Wednesday School of Excellence, something I'm very excited about. Yeah,
100%.
That's who I am. Yeah.
100%. And you know, I like the fact that you said a very great golf school because when I said there's a lot of people behind you who are actually waiting to hear your voice and hear what you'll be talking about today, I was referring to the Wednesday School of Excellence. Now, But Mandla, I just want to find out. I mean, you mentioned that you are a social golfer, but what's very interesting for me is to find out how you found yourself playing golf and where was this?
Actually, some time ago, when in my younger days, I used to
Mm,
be a brand manager at Gillette, and I was responsible for sponsorship. And this was
mm,
in the
mm,
early 90s, and I think it was 1993 or so. And I
mm,
used to remember some of these guys, mostly white guys, would come and ask me for sponsorship, and I'll be sponsoring golf days, but I'd be sitting in the office working, had no interest whatsoever. Fast forward to
mm,
1996, I was a general manager of marketing at Reebok. And again, same issues. I sponsored about three black professionals, full kit with all the sponsorship for golf. And some of my
mm,
colleagues there, guys like Mark Tovey, used to play golf all the time. And yeah, but I had lots of golf exposure, but it never
mm,
really got into me until late 1999 when a friend of mine, Umyeketi Mafura, introduced us
mm,
to another gentleman, I forget his name now, from Wilson, who then took about
mm.
20 black professionals and took us for lessons at the World of Golf. And they were trying to get
Yeah.
black professionals into the sport. And yeah, there were 20 of us who started playing there. We got started from
Mm-hmm,
lesson. They gave us 20 lessons. After that, I must
mm-hmm.
say, I've never stopped. Yeah, that was it. That was my introduction into golf. Yeah,
You've been addicted since then.
yeah, I
But
have.
if you don't mind me asking, I mean, you mentioned early 90s where you played a role in terms of sponsorships, and I just want to find
Yeah.
out back then what actually didn't appeal to you about golf that later on you then decided, you know what, let me give it a try.
Look, I used to like more action-oriented kind of sports like soccer, running. Those are my stuff. I
Mm,
thought golf was a bit slow, and really, I also remember that there was also no black icon within golf. It's only really in the
mm,
late 90s and early 2000s when Tiger started emerging that we actually started
yeah.
identifying with golf. So for me, that was it. It was not a sport which was something I'm used to. So it was irrelevant in my life, so to speak.
Mm, no,
Yes.
no, no.
Until when I saw
Definitely.
guys like Tiger playing, I'm like, whoa, okay, this is interesting. In fact, I went to the President Cup. Actually, I was there. Was it 1999 or 2000? I don't remember when the President Cup was playing at Fancourt. I was actually invited. I was
Yeah.
there.
Oh,
And that's
beautiful.
when I really thought, whoa, this is cool. This guy is
Mm.
great. And yeah, I started enjoying golf from there on.
No, no, no. That's lovely. And I just want to find out. I mean, you've been playing golf for quite some time. If at
Yes.
any point in time you were given a choice to pick one course that you could play blindfolded, which one would you say you can take your chance with?
Yeah, well, my home courses at CCJ, both of them, I really would play, both Woodmead and Rocklands. Yeah, definitely could play blindfolded. I mean, even Houghton is a course played quite a lot. Yeah, so
Mm,
those are some of the courses I've played, quite often.
mm, mm.
Yeah,
And speaking of those three courses, I mean, for me personally, I've played CCJ. I've played both of them, and they're quite tricky. They look very open, but they're quite tricky. What would be your number one tip when it comes to playing, especially let's say Rocklands? What would be your number one tip there?
yeah. I mean, Rocklands for me is probably presents more challenges than Woodmead.
Mm-hmm,
Because I mean, you got to keep your ball in play. Just make sure that you don't go to the rough and stuff. Keep your ball in play. If
mm,
you keep your ball in play,
mm,
make sure that you're playing for position for now, so that that you're ready for the next shot to attack, etc. So yeah, for me, it's about keeping your ball in play in the fairways at Rocklands. If you do that, you actually score very
mm,
well. But once you go off the fairway, you're in trouble. Definitely in
mm,
trouble.
mm.
Yeah,
No,
definitely in trouble.
100%. I
Mm.
really want to agree with you there because there's a couple of trees that I found myself behind last week when I was playing, and yeah,
Yeah.
if you try to attempt funny things there, you'll find yourself in deeper trouble. So I think all I was doing whenever I found myself in those situations, I would just punch it out back on the fairway and then just go straight for the pin.
Yeah, indeed. You see, it's just that golfers were a very optimistic bunch. You see a shot where there's none. We always think, I can curl around this tree. And then you're surprised when you see the tree moving to your ball. Yeah. But hey, that's why we keep playing, because we are very hopeful,
No,
for that brilliant
no,
shot. Yeah.
no, that's very true. Now, let's go on to something that you mentioned upon your introduction. The Wednesday School of Excellence. I mean, the name itself says quite a lot. Now, I would like to find out from you regarding the Wednesday School of Excellence. When did it begin, and how did it actually begin? If you were a part of the beginning phases of the Wednesday School of Excellence, because a lot of people within Gauteng social golf space, they always hear School of Excellence, but they don't really understand the roots of School of Excellence and what is happening at the School of Excellence. If you can just give us an idea of how it began and then what led to, I mean, the name itself says that the people they are excelling, and I've seen them play, they are excellent.
Yeah. Look, the school started in 2015, really, 2015, 2016. And it was
Mm-hmm.
a friend of mine, a very good friend of mine, who also happens to be the chairman of the Wednesday School of Excellence, Mr. Ike Ngwena, approached me in 2015, and he was like, "Hey, Skoko," he calls me Skoko. "Hey, Skoko, hey, I'm struggling, man. I play in this Houghton Saturday school, and man, I get chowed all the time. I need to practice so that to up my game, so that when I get there Saturday, I'll be hot." So I said, "Please, man, come
Yeah.
and help me. Let's practice together." And that's how we started. We started actually as a practice for the Houghton Saturday school, and in short space of time, I mean, we moved from just being the two of us to being 5 4 balls, 10 4 balls, etc. And the rest is history. And I must say, we currently are a very big group of eclectic kind of individual. I mean, we've got all kind of professionals, which covers the whole spectrum of business in South Africa, whether it's politicians, whether it's doctors, whether it's lawyers, businessman, entrepreneur, you name it, social entrepreneur, you name it, we've got there. So our membership is quite wide. On the books right now, we have about 150 members.
Sure.
And every Wednesday we have a field of about 40 minimum.
Without fail.
Without fail, yes. About 40 individuals every Wednesday. We get about 10 4 balls.
100%.
Full.
Now, I mean, you mentioned that in your books currently you're standing with about 150 members. Now, I would just like to understand from the admin point of view, as you are part of the leadership when it comes to the Wednesday School of Excellence. So people always say, no, there is a school or there's a golf school or a social club. Now, 150 players, what would you say makes your school different to a point where everybody wants to be a part of it? Would you say it's the networking, just the social conversations that happen around the course? What would you say is the key thing that actually hooks people to want to be a part of the Wednesday School of Excellence?
I think for me, maybe three things really stand out. First of all, it's a brotherhood and sisterhood within the school. I mean, it's amazing. The spirit is really amazing. You find and you make long-term friends. That's one. But secondly, you're right, the networking. I mean, for example, for me, my lawyer is also one of the members of the school. The guy who does my finances in terms of like financial planning, insurance and stuff, is a member of the school, etc., etc. So and doctors, some of the doctors, for example, are our doctors also. So there's a lot more than just golf. And lastly, is guys who are driven by, who want to excel, who want to play golf, but who want to play golf by the rules, who want to improve all the time. And that's what it's about. I mean, I remember, when David started playing, David Gowan started playing. David was playing off at 26. I mean, you should see how David plays now. And we see guys starting with 36 handicaps, and you see them improving until they are 1, 2. Some of them actually are as good as, there's a guy called Vugani is playing off at 2 now on a scratch. But again, that's what it does. Our average school handicap, I can tell you right now, it's quite low. We've got a lot of guys in single digits. We've got over 30-40% of the members who are single digits,
Wow.
because of the push, of making sure that, you score low. If you win in that school, you know that you're probably not going to win in most places. Yeah.
That's quite interesting. And I mean, 30 to 40% if they're playing off single digits. Now, with regards to that, still keeping that in mind, would you say it's a result of consistency when it comes to the weekly games, or would you say the players themselves are actually making more effort as well? Apart from the Wednesday games, they actually participate in other games, and they would go for lessons separately. If you were just to hit it from the top of your head, what would you say is the key driver behind this?
Look, I think there's a lot of healthy competition within the schools, first of all, but also it is consistency. I mean, I'll give you an example. To qualify to play, for example, at our year-end conference, and to participate and compete, you need a minimum of 25 games in a year.
Okay. Yeah.
So out of 52 weeks, you should have played at least 25 times.
Okay.
So, and we see that at our year-end currently, we had about 44 players, and all of them, most of them, only out of the 44, only 4 did not meet the criteria of 25 games.
Wow.
So it's consistency, one. And also, yes, I mean, guys, there's a bragging rights to winning the school. We have what is called the Champ of Champs, and even our shirts, at the year end, there's a normal school shirt which we get, but the Champ of Champs means guys who have won at least 1 week once a week during the year. They get a special T-shirt, and then they compete in this called Champ of Champs. I mean, that's a bragging rights. I can tell you right now, when during our first year, when we played the Champ of Champs, there was only about 12 of us out of 38 players.
Yeah.
And the following year, there was about 15. But this year, out of 48 players, we had 28 players who were playing for Champ of Champs. It means that more guys are winning. So that's healthy competition, which is really good. And it's improving the guys. You see it with the guys' handicaps. You see with their scores, which they shoot, and anywhere they go.
100%. Now, but man, I'm just going to put you on the spot. I mean, you are the captain of the Wednesday School of Excellence, right? And like you mentioned, there's a lot of great players. Now, I'm going to pose 2 questions to you. Firstly, it would be from an admin point of view to say, okay, how intricate is it for you to actually organize or make sure that there's games every single week? Obviously, I mean, you have to engage with players, you have to engage with the course, etc., etc. And then with that being said, the time that you take to actually make sure that the game will be on for the following week, what then happens to you as a player, not as the organizer, as a player, to say, when do you get time to practice? Because I believe you also want to be the Champ of Champs at the end of the day.
True that, you see, but the good thing about the Wednesday School, we actually have a committee, a committee of about 8 individuals who are in the committee. Dedicated individuals who make sure one is responsible. We make sure that all games are covered. We have someone who's looking after the rules, someone who's looking after the handicaps. We make sure that the venue and all the stuff all arranged. So it's a collective effort to try and spread the load. But yes, it is challenging, especially during year end, because I can say, for example, that there's not even been 1 year where I've never competed in the Chamber of Champs. I normally win about 2 or 3 of these every year. So that's guaranteed, and it's actually, I think there's been only 2 times where members of the committee have not been also winners. And we they always get a stick for not having won. Alfie, I'm not talking about you this year, but then I'm just saying, it happens. It happens sometimes, but it's challenging because also when you are playing, if there are issues, they come to you. So you have to play, you also have to manage. But again, it helps that we've actually dissolved the captaincy. For example, I'm the captain, but we also have other co-captains. I've got James Mapunda, who's a co-captain. I've got Alfie Maredi, who's a co-captain. I've got Mzo Chaka, another co-captain. Pal Tobejane is another captain. I've got Smart Ngube. We've got Ukoni Munacheng is also one of the co-captains, and who am I missing? Sanele Shabalala. So we've got quite a few individuals. We've tried to spread it around. Yes.
No, 100%. Now, one last question before we go for our 2-minute break. I just want to find out from you, sir, to say, okay, now already your school is massive. I don't want to lie. I mean, 150 plus players is quite a lot to manage and to make sure that one message is communicated amongst everyone and everyone receives the very same message in the desired way. Now, if we were to let's just look at the Wednesday School of Excellence and then encompass the whole social golfing aspect. If we were to compare the landscape of social golfing to that of professional golfing, not when it comes to scoring and all of that. If we were to look at the two and compare them to say, okay, what do you think would be the key differentiator? Because I mean, you guys, you have the numbers, you have the commitment, the admin is in place, and obviously on the other side is still the same. But if we were to say which one deserves more airtime on TV, would you not say that social golfing also deserves airtime on national media as well?
It really does, because it really forms a cohesive bond and also networks which go beyond just the sport. And they also impact some of the community issues. I mean, I've seen a lot of great things which have been done by the members and by the school on the social side of issues, taking care of those in need, etc., etc. And almost most of these members, for example, have their own beneficiaries and their own foundations, which we are always supporting. I mean, last week it was the chairman who was having a golf day. This weekend we have 2 of our members actually who are also having their foundation and are being supported by our members to make sure that they spread golf to the disadvantaged, making sure that they make a difference to the communities they're in. So yeah, and that's what I like about Wednesday School. The guys are really open and to actually helping each other out and being part of this synergistic network of individuals. That's very, to me, that's the one thing I enjoy mostly about the Wednesday School.
No, 100%. All right, but Mandla, let's go for a 2-3 minute break. And then when we come back, we will delve more into certain aspects of the Wednesday School of Excellence. And then I will definitely put you on the spot. I actually want to know what your momish moments are, whether they're still happening now or they just happened in the past when you started playing the sport. I still want to know what's happening.
Sure, no problem.
100%. All right, ladies and gentlemen, as you know, this is our halftime break. Listen, please do remember tomorrow on sorry, do remember that the 19th of November we've got the Africa Summit Investments Golf Day that's taking place at Eye of Africa. Look out for that golf day. You can come through and be part of the audience, or you can come through and play. The 4 balls are out. There's the last spots that's remaining there. So please come through, join us. Let's have fun. Let's make sure that we continue growing the sport of golf. So let's go for that 2-minute break. And then when we come back, we will delve more into the Wednesday School of Excellence.
Invisible Inc. Consulting, your gateway to financial success. We specialise in providing the best solutions to manage your finance and accounting, ensuring a better life for you and your business. Our expert team offers top-notch accounting and tax consulting services tailored to various industries, including but not limited to engineering, medical practitioners, in construction, non-profits, events management, attorneys and financial services. Experience the power of our best analytics, backed by a commitment to our clients and a high level of knowledge. At Invisible Inc. Consulting, we strive to deliver the best service you can get, making your financial journey seamless and rewarding. Choose Invisible Inc. Consulting for a brighter financial future. Your success our priority. Please visit us at www.invisibleinc.co.za to reach us. www.invisibleinc.co.za.
In a world where fairways meet the airwaves, where birdies and banker collide, welcome to the show that takes you beyond the clubhouse and onto the green. This is Balls and Tees, your passport to the golfing universe, where every swing tells a story and every putt has its punchline. Get ready to step onto the last greens and dive into the world of divots, drives, and delightful banter.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, you are still tuned into the one and only Balls and Tees. Listen, you can listen to us on Spotify. We are available on Amazon. We are available on Apple Podcasts. So do not despair if you miss our episode. You can always catch up. And guess what? You can still go to our website, which is www.ballsandtees.golf, and then you'll be able to catch up with all the episodes that you've ever missed. Ladies and gentlemen, if you've just tuned in now, let me tell you what has been going on. We have been speaking to Mr. Mandlam Simang, who is the captain of Wednesday School of Excellence. He was just giving us a brief overview of what the Wednesday School of Excellence is about. And listen, you want to be a part of this school. If you haven't joined the Wednesday School of Excellence, today is the day, because listen, I've played at the Wednesday School of Excellence events, I think 2 or 3 times so far. And I have to say, I like the culture. I like the camaraderie. I like the respect. I like the huge spectrum of different professionals within that school. And like Mr. Simang said, there's over 150 players, but there's certain criteria that one needs to meet and make sure that they abide by the end of the year. Otherwise, you know, the door will be waiting for you. So let me not waste any more time and then bring Mr. Simang back online. Mr. Simang?
Yes, sir.
Yes, thank
I'm
you
back, yeah.
for staying with us here. Now, I think before the break, we just spoke about the introductory phase of Wednesday School of Excellence, as well as what are the criteria to make sure that one participates at the end of the year for the Champ of Champs. Now, I want to delve a bit more deep and maybe talk about the culture within the Wednesday School of Excellence. I'm one person who believes that culture is very important when it comes to shaping a particular group of people or a community as a whole. So if you don't mind me asking, from the top of your head, if you were to look at the Wednesday School of Excellence and maybe come up with top 3 attributes to define the Wednesday School of Excellence, or top 3 core values that you believe are very, very much ingrained in the Wednesday School of Excellence.
Yeah, I think the first one I'd say is integrity. And this is a key component just of both the individual himself and also of a golfer the person is. In other words, we do expect to carry yourself and to act in a spirit of integrity towards not only those who are with you, but it's important that at all times, you say what you mean and you mean what you say, and you do what you say and you say what you do. Your words and actions should always match. And also to be honest, even when no one is watching, especially within golf, that's critical. We've had to disqualify members who take advantage and push the envelope rules and stuff. So we take that quite seriously, and we will actually DQ you. And it's one of the things we do. We don't even think about twice. We'll DQ you. If we think you've acted in a manner which does not foster integrity. Secondly, I think the spirit of respect and brotherhood and sisterhood is also quite important. We do understand that, for example, we all come from all our spaces where we are. We are very important people. But once we are together, it's important that we actually recognize each other as brothers and sisters, and not with our titles. We put our titles away, and we come together as comrades in the sport of golf. So we don't like egos. We really don't like egos. And unfortunately, we've had one incident recently of someone like that. Their ego is bigger than anything else, and we can't have that, because you have a lot of people, and you got to understand that you don't have the soul wisdom to do things that others may have better ideas, etc. So yeah, that's one thing which we. And the thirdly is growth and excellence. That's where excellence comes in.
Yeah.
So we even recognize it in our year end. We always look at the most improved player. All of those things are critical. You can't come to the school playing a 17 and keep playing a 17 right throughout. It just doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. So we well, that's one of the reasons why, for example, we actually even have a school handicap, because we really don't care how well you play or how bad you play in other places. Because what we realized before is that people, especially during our downtime in December, people will leave the school very handicapped 12, and they come back in January, they are handicapped 17, so that they can win. And we know. So we don't do that. In our school, for example, we have a school handicap, and we measure you based on what your performance at the school. At the school, you can't tell us about how bad a game you're having somewhere else, but every time on Wednesday your score is good. It just doesn't make sense. And we've had such things where guys shoot the lights out every Wednesday, but on Thursday, on Saturday, you look at their scores, they're shooting 90s. But sometimes on Wednesday they shoot 70s. Such things. So we look at such things, but it's so important that for us, you should also grow. And we've seen it. I mean, guys' handicaps have come down. I remember MK is one of our scout members and our old members of the school. And he used to complain because he used to play with 17. He was very comfortable. But now he plays off 11, 12 with ease. And it's fine. And I expect him next year to come down to like single digits. So yeah, you got to. Excellence, therefore, is part of what we do. Excellence in execution, excellence in relationships, excellence even in behavior. So excellence covers everything we do. How you relate to people, how you do your business, and how you actually carry yourself. So that's the main ethos and the values of integrity and excellence and sportsmanship, I would say, are the three things for Wednesday school.
100%. You mentioned something very important there. You mentioned that the Wednesday School of Excellence encourages growth. Now, I want to touch on that aspect of growth. I mean, you mentioned that the school does not really condone people playing with the same handicap throughout without any improvements. Now, based on that, what mechanisms or what strategies does the school employ, apart from obviously ensuring that there's games every single Wednesday? What other methods does the school employ to ensure that you help each other as brothers and sisters within the school to improve on a weekly basis or over time, if I can put it that way?
You see, excellence rubs off. There is no way you can play with someone like Smart Ngobe. The guy hits the ball so pure, and how he chips, how he does things, and you think, I want to do that. So the fact that we actually blend our players and expose them to different kind of players, it actually helps their game. You actually see that actually I can do this, and then you're also motivated to go and try it out somewhere else. So I think for me, it's more about iron sharpening iron, and that's where we see it, because no one wants to be always contributing to the prices but never getting any prize. So it's amazing. I mean, we've got David Malaza. David Malaza started golf 2 years ago. But I can tell you right now, that guy, I mean, when we're playing even at the golf day right now on Friday, OG Mulife, we also have our side bets and stuff. I mean, the guy took all our money. and he's a
Wow.
handicap 31. But he's fit. He plays golf, and like he says to me, I'm practicing because I want to make sure, that time I just don't become, the last man out every Wednesday. So for me, it's all about competing with the best guys. Always lifts you up, and guys are willing. You can talk to any of them and say, "Hey man, I need help. Please man, come, let's play."
Yeah.
And guys do that. They're playing on Tuesday to try and say, "Hey man, help me with this, do that." And yeah, that to me, I see a lot of it happening amongst the members.
No, that's very beautiful, and like you've been reiterating, there's two words: brotherhood and sisterhood. I mean, if the relationship goes beyond just meeting up for one single golf day, and then people are able to communicate and say, "Listen, I noticed that you are good at this and this. Can you please show me the ropes? Let me also replicate what you have been doing, so that I can also be successful." And I think that's very, very beautiful. Now, I want to ask you something, Bab Mandla. When it comes to competition, obviously everyone is competitive in their own nature. Now, the School of Excellence plays every single Wednesday, and then you did mention that some members would actually have their own golf days, as well as the Champ of Champs at the end of the year. Now, as a captain, has it ever gotten to a point where you feel that the competition is too intense amongst players that it causes friction, or has it always just been contained and people play respectfully with integrity amongst each other?
Yeah, look, it's tight, especially when it goes towards the end of the year, because most of the sports are taken, and people are trying as hard as possible to get into the Champ of Champs. Yeah, Champions do flare sometimes, where people think, I might know, for example, one time we were playing at Ren Park, and as we were playing, they started moving the pins, and so we had to cancel that game, and because someone who won that day. I mean, I remember there were 44 players. They don't take it kindly, but we have to be fair and strict to the rules. I mean, it happened, I think, 3 times this year. It happened at also at Modderfontein. Same thing. The guys, they change because we are playing different courses now. You can't compete with people and playing different courses. So those are some of the things which makes it. People become very tender there. It was like, yeah, but I won. It was not my mistake. I didn't ask the club to move this thing. It's unfair. Yeah, but the rules say that we have to play the same course. Unfortunately, one thing which we are concerned about is consistency. Stick to the rules and treat everyone fairly the same way. And that one we do very well. So no one can come and say they're being singled out. No one can say they're singled out, because we apply the rules consistently to everyone. 100%. And that's the secret of our success as a Wednesday school. It doesn't change. It doesn't matter who you are. We will apply the rules the same way. And that helps us.
It definitely makes sense. I would also argue, if I know that the person playing ahead of me is already one up and the pin, that means they put me at a disadvantage. I would also argue.
Yeah. So we avoid all gray areas and try to be as true as possible to the rules of golf. And if we are unsure, we'll say, take it up with the committee, and then we can sit down and look at it and say, and come up with a decision which is final. And that's it, really. And that's one of the things we do. We have democracy there, but our democracy works that once the decision has been made, it's done, and that's it. You got to accept it and move on. You can't go back to it. Move on.
No, 100%. Now, Mr. Msimang, I just want to find out. I mean, you've been playing with the Wednesday School of Excellence for a very, very long time, and I believe that there's certain memories, whether good or bad, that you've experienced amongst all the players that are part of the Wednesday School of Excellence. Now, I just want to get an idea from you to say, from the top of your head, if you were to think of the funniest moment in golf when playing with the Wednesday School of Excellence, whether it was by yourself or it was by other players, what would you, or how can you describe that moment for us?
I think we have some silly moments, and they do get captured and posted in our group. But I think last year's moment actually for me comes to mind where Umpumelelo Ndimande, we were playing at Champagne, and he saw a shot on this par three. He actually fluffed his shot, but it just got into the water. But yes, some of it was half submerged in the water, but he could play it, and he figured, no, he's gonna try this. It was a cold day, but he went in there and he tried his shot, and he ended up in the water. But that's how it shows that you could have actually just taken a drop shot; it would have been easier. But that's how competitive the guys are. He thinks I can make this. I can make this. So we have a lot of those such moments which are happening, every week, and we do post them. As our fun
No,
moments.
but I can imagine trying to hit the ball and then you end up in the water yourself, especially
Exactly.
when it's cold.
Exactly. So it was very funny, very, very funny. We have some of those moments, it happened a lot. I mean, even with my co-captain with James playing at Copperleaf, trying to get out of the bunker, and man, he missed that shot and he almost fell inside the bunker himself. So such things. So we have those moments, yeah. So that's what keeps us coming all the time,
100%. Now,
And
now,
the guys record them. That's a funny thing. I don't know why, but guys always are ready with their phones to record these things. I don't know if they, but I'm telling you, they're always ready. Yeah.
no, people are very quick when it comes to such moments. But I believe these are the moments, like you said, that keep us coming back to say, okay, I can look forward to something, even if my game is not up to scratch today. At least I know I will be surrounded by lively people who will go out of the way to make sure that they try by all means to play the best game that they can.
Indeed.
Now, speaking of the funny moments, Babandlane, on your end, you mentioned that you've been playing, you mentioned 1999 or so, since 1999 or so. Now, I want to find out, obviously, it's decades that you've been playing golf. There was ups, there was downs. Now, let's focus on the highlights of your golf since 1999. Top two memorable golf shots, as well as top two all-time favorite moments on the golf course for you.
Look, I think when you get your first hole in one, that's always a memorable.
Ouch.
Yeah, that's all. And I've had two, so I've been very lucky twice. So yeah, so that one at CCJ, the other one at Firethorn in hole number 15, and CCJ hole number 13. Yeah. So those are special moments. But also my wife plays also. I also have watched her when we're playing at Fancourt at the Links, and she also got a hole in one there on hole number 2.
Wow.
And a few of my friends I've watched. One of the guys I play a lot with, Usipo, at Montague, also hole number 2, holding it. So I've watched James at hole number 11 at Royal holding it. So that's just special when you see you witness that. It's beautiful. But
No,
and then the
definitely.
days when things just don't work out. And I remember this. We were playing Nosipo. We were actually playing at the Audi finals competition at Arabella, where I just couldn't do anything right. I mean, before then, I think I'd gotten, when we qualified, I'd gotten my first eagle on hole number 7, on hole number 6 at SCCJ. It was a beautiful shot, and so we won there. So I thought, yeah, we're on. Following week, we were playing in Cape Town. Man, I don't know what happened. Nothing was happening. Or you even say, now you feel these guys will think maybe you cheated. You don't even deserve to be here. You start. Yeah. It was horrible. Yeah. Horrible.
But
horrible.
Cape Town golf is not golf, eh? It's something else.
Well,
I think Cape Town golf qualifies to be hockey.
Yeah, I've learned now how to play a coastal golf. Now I'm very good. You know, I'm very good
Mm.
at coastal golf. But yeah, previously I struggled that day. I really struggled that day. I just don't know what happened. I just couldn't do anything right. Couldn't. You know.
No, it happens to the best of us. And if anything, I've had a lot of people say, especially when the day is not going according to plan. Often enough, people would say that there's probably a thought that's disturbing you, because professionals tend to say that golf is 70% mental and 30% physical. So
Yeah.
sometimes you've got those thoughts in your head that you just can't get rid of, or you're not even aware that there's something actually that's lingering in your head. So I'm sorry that it had to happen so far from home, in the Western Cape. Although the golf in the Western Cape, because of the winds, I don't think qualifies to be golf. I think if there's anything that's nice about golf is watching your ball fly. But if you can't hit balls that go in the air, then it's no longer golf for me.
Well, I've played in Scotland, and that's where the home of golf. And that's the
Mm,
conditions you played. I've played at St Andrews, and I
mm,
can tell you right now, you got to have that shot. Otherwise, you will not play there. When the
mm.
wind is howling, you will not play. If there's wind, there's rain, you won't play. So,
Yeah.
so you, unfortunately, we're spoiled here in South Africa. We're really spoiled here, for the
Mm,
weather. But
mm-hmm,
other guys don't have it that much. I mean, if you in Scotland, you
mm-hmm.
you pray for a quiet, no rain, no wind kind of day, and they're
True.
far and few in between. Your normal golf is like windy, like the
Mm,
guys at Hume would play.
yeah.
Horrible, yeah. But yeah, we you get used to it. We still enjoy it nonetheless, you know.
No, 100%. Now,
Mhm.
but man, let's go back to the Wednesday School of Excellence. I mean, I'm quite interested in understanding. I mean, you guys basically host competitions amongst yourselves. Now, if we're talking competitions and we're looking at the magnitude of players that come through to your golf days, I want to find out, do you guys ever get poached by potential sponsors to say, listen, we really like what the Wednesday School of Excellence is doing, and we want to be full time a part of who you are. We would actually like to create a story with you guys, because for me, uh, looking from the outside, I would say over 150 players, if possible. That's like your own NetBank challenge, where conditions permit. If the sponsorship is there, that would be like having your own NetBank challenge. Like you mentioned, there's qualifications throughout the entire year up till the end of the year. So I just want to find out if there's been anywhere or any point in time where potential sponsors would come through and say, listen, we want to build this relationship and make sure that we grow with you guys. And then also with regards to that, are there any specifics that the Wednesday School of Excellence would be looking for in potential sponsors?
Yeah. Look, that's probably one of our Achilles, which we haven't really exploited our numbers and
Mm,
our net worth very well. We
mm-hmm,
haven't done that. I think that's precisely because most of the time, whatever we need, most of our members come through, because some of them
mm,
own companies and stuff. So we've never really had to struggle for prices or anything like that because our guys normally come through. But you're right, it's something which we are mindful of right now. In fact, it's a
mm-hmm,
discussion which we're having, especially as we're approaching our 10-year anniversary, that we
mm-hmm,
actually now maybe look at like-minded brands, like-minded organizations, and try and see if we can foster a relationship of sort. That's
mm-hmm.
something which is an area which we actually shining our light on for the coming year, but we have not really done that in the past.
100%. And just to follow up on that, I mean, it goes back to my initial question that I asked earlier to say, if you were to critique social golf compared to professional golf in the media space, wouldn't you say based on what is happening with the Wednesday School of Excellence. There's consistency. Every single Wednesday there is a game, different golf courses, and then at the end of the year there is a tournament. Has there ever been a point in time where, I mean, from a content point of view, the Wednesday School of Excellence would say, listen, every single game of ours is covered, whether it be by national media or not, but at least the footage is there, and then it gets to a point where the school would say, listen, let's approach these distributors to make sure that our content is out there. Maybe whether it be to grow your base, whether it be to, like you mentioned, there's foundations and other aspects of giving back to the community, whether it be to raise funds to give back to those communities. I don't know if that has ever come to mind to say perhaps as a professional, because I think it's quite professional the way that you guys have organized it, to say every week there's a game, and then at the end of the year there's a champ of champs. So I mean, paving the way from January all the way to December with content that's appealing, that's relatable. Most important is relatable to other people who don't even play golf, because if you were to look at the social golf as well as and compared to the professional golf, it's much easier to relate to social golf because you can see that this is genuinely fun. Where from a professional point of view, it's very straight. The guys are very intense, even when you look at them on TV. So I don't know if you gather what I'm saying.
No, look, you're quite correct. I mean, we've had quite a few incidents. I mean, Usipo Makhalimele is also a member of the school, has done a lot of capturing most of our games, especially because we have 4 majors also every year. We have 4 majors every year. We play 4 majors. I mean, he's pretty much covered almost all those majors and some of our other major golf. So we do have quite a lot of content. But you're right. We never have really, what's the word? I don't want to say monetized our value, but I think we focus too much on the social aspect, enjoyment for members, and we've really been inwardly focused. We've been focused on making sure that our members enjoy themselves, our members get value, our members are happy. So we've been very inwardly focused. Honestly, that's what we are. We do anything to make sure that anyone who comes from the Wednesday school or to play with us has a memorable day. And that's where we've been.
100%.
That's where we've been focusing. But you're correct. Maybe an area of growth is to say, then how then do we make sure that we can actually take that experience and use it to influence others who may want to join? And how do we make sure that we can link up with like-minded people, whether it's brands, organization, who will also help to promote and use this maybe for the betterment of our communities? It's something we have not done very well. And I think it's something, it's our new frontier right now.
100%. I mean, it's just a thought that came whilst we're speaking, and I got to realize, you know what, Norman, perhaps this is some of the things that one can look into in the future from a Wednesday School of Excellence point of view, to say, okay, you guys know each other. I think in Gauteng, when you say the Wednesday School of Excellence in the golfing community, they already know where you're going and the kind of people that you'll be playing with. So for those who have not joined golf, or for those who play alone, people are always looking for a home. So what's the best way of actually giving people a home, if not show them exactly how the brothers and sisters live within that household?
Certainly. I think, like I said, it's our Achilles heel, which is something we will definitely address moving forward. I think you're spot on. So, yeah, it's something we would need to improve on.
Awesome stuff. Now, I told you I would like to put you on the spot, Pap Mandla. Now, this is the time. For, I think it's now 24 years. Is it 24? 2025? It's not 24. 26 years that you've been playing golf.
Yeah, it's been quite some time, over 20 years, yes. Yes.
The most embarrassing moment you've had on the golf course?
Most embarrassing moment. Actually, no, I can't, nothing stands to mind because I don't know. I tend to be very what's the word? Careful around the course. Honestly, I can't recall, but I've been embarrassed on behalf of a lot of people, but I haven't done really something which would really like, no. No, I can't think of any. Maybe the people I play with would think of, but I can't certainly. Nothing comes to mind, honestly.
No,
Really
no, no, no.
nothing. Mm.
100%. You are one lucky golfer to have not experienced embarrassing moments on the golf course, and I think that the hole-in-ones that you've had have saved you so much.
Yeah, no, but look, so for me, things like maybe if you shank and stuff, that's part of golf. So I don't really look at that as yeah. So I can't think of anything which really will stand out beyond the
Yeah.
normal just golf things at all. Truly, none. I can't
No,
honestly. Yeah.
100%. Now,
Mm.
before we close off, Mandla, I just want to
Sure.
find out quickly from you, right?
Yeah.
So, as the captain of the Wednesday School of Excellence, and obviously having to manage such a huge group of people,
Yes.
if we were to take the entire group into a musical space, what do you think the Wednesday School of Excellence's theme song would be?
Huh. Invisible. I'm invincible. Actually, I like that song, and I think as a group we are. You know,
Mm.
we overcome things. You know, we're invincible. You know, we that's what we are, invincible
Mm-hmm.
as a group, and
And
collectively, our strength
yeah.
is like solid. You know, and
Mm-hmm.
the caliber of people I have there. I mean, we can face anything and everything. So I think that's what it is. Yeah,
Invincible.
invincible. Yeah, yeah.
100%. That's actually sure. That's deep.
Yeah.
Considering what you've shared with us regarding the Wednesday School of Excellence, that's very deep, and I'd like to say I would agree with you, based on my experience as well, playing with the guys as well. You guys are definitely invincible. Now, just to close off on my side, Bob Mandlane,
Mm.
I would really like to find out, for on behalf of all our audience, to say, how does one then get in touch with the Wednesday School of Excellence, whether they want to be a member or whether they want to pay you guys a visit, or nowadays things happen in different ways. You might find that there's a school somewhere there in KZN and they're listening to this podcast and they're like, no, these guys cannot be the Wednesday School of Excellence. They can't be this excellent. We need to approach them, challenge them, and then we will tell if they are excellent, for instance. How do people then reach you guys?
So you see how, for example, people join us is that we normally encourage our members to bring a friend, and
Mm,
before you can actually qualify to be a member, you need to have played at least 3 games with us before we
mm-hmm,
actually say, hey, now you can join us as a member. You need to have played 3 games
mm-hmm,
so that guys watch you. They want to watch your ethos. They want to see, for example, if you blend in with the school ethos and everything else. And
mm,
after the third game, then they will actually welcome you as part of the school.
mm,
So our recruitment is really simple. It's mostly members, because if you bring people who, and that's why it works. Because if
mm.
someone does not work, we can say, man, but you won't let lo muntu. So deal with him.
Yeah.
You know, so we start there. Everyone
Yeah.
there is there because someone brought him in.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and some of people who say, hey, I had this, can I come? They have to approach someone who will introduce them, because we always, every week, we'll say, okay, any visitors, someone who is a visitor has to stand up and introduce their visitor.
100%.
That's what we do. So it's very important to us that when you come through someone we know, because
Mm,
that way we can hold that person responsible for you. And
mm,
also now
mm,
you also know that I'm not going to disappoint this person, you know, because they brought me here.
mm.
So
And and
we find that works very well.
and I mean, back to what you're saying. There's an English say that says that you become the same as the 5 people you spend most of your time with. So you
Yes.
guys knowing your members, you would know, okay, this individual is likely to bring someone who would then gel in or not, based on the experiences that you guys have had with them.
Yes, and that's how we've been very lucky like that, because it's people bring like-minded people, and it's been easier. Therefore, by the time they come to the school, they know exactly who the school is and what the school does. So our members have done its work. But if you want to contact us, for example, we are affiliated to the Country Club Johannesburg. We are one of the schools at the Country Club Johannesburg. And so if you want to contact us, you can talk to any of our members. I'm sure. Or actually even contact the Country Club Johannesburg itself and say, hey, I'd like to get in touch with the Wednesday School of Excellence. They will actually make sure that they put you through to us.
Awesome stuff.
Yes.
No.
Yeah,
we're
recognized as one of the schools there. Yeah.
No, definitely. That would help a lot, because I am certain that at the moment there's someone somewhere who says, I like every single thing that has been said about the Wednesday School of Excellence, and I want to be a part. But with them not knowing exactly where to go, then it was going to be difficult. But I like the fact that even CCJ is well knowledgeable of how they can get hold of you. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you're listening out there, please do reach out to CCJ, and then they'll be able to share additional details regarding Wednesday School of Excellence.
Just to say, for example, this evening at 5:30, Ike, the chairman, and I are meeting with the club director and the manager, the general manager at CCJ, just to iron out things. Okay, fine. For next year, guys, what are the things we need to look out? What this, we have frequent meeting with the course also, just to make sure. And guys, yes, we have members also who are not based in Gauteng. We have members who come and play with us, or who are all over. Our members go all over the world, and they come. We've got guys in the UK, guys in Qatar, guys in Russia. But every time they're here, they play. So and obviously guys in KZN and other provinces who are also members, they come and play every time they are. So we're quite an open bunch. We just like to make sure that we have a good time on the course.
That's beautiful. If anything, I always say, Mr. Msimang, is that let's share the love of golf with everyone around us. And wherever possible, I always say, let's create a family away from family, or let's take our family and create a bigger family with golfers as well.
Yeah, indeed.
And 100%. Now, with that being said, Mr. Msimang, I really, really appreciate the time that you've taken to have a chat with us. And I look forward to more events coming through from the Wednesday School of Excellence as well as its members. I'm wishing the Wednesday School of Excellence all the best, going all the way to 2026 and beyond. So I really, really appreciate, and may you have a wonderful day further. I look forward to seeing you on the golf course, and hopefully on that particular day I'll play with you and we can both have hole-in-ones. I missed the hole-in-one last week by far.
Yeah. Yeah, no. Look, thank you again, Tony, for this. And like we now know you. We will definitely invite you to almost all of our events. And we look forward to actually playing on the fairway with you.
100%. I really appreciate it, Mr. Msimang.
Thanks, sir.
Have a lovely one.
Cheers. Bye-bye.
All right, bye. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the end of our episode today. As you heard, it was an insightful conversation that I had with Mr. Mandla Msimang, who is the captain of the Wednesday School of Excellence. Ladies and gentlemen, if anything that I took from that conversation, he mentioned integrity. If you don't have integrity within your morals, then you do not fit to be a part of the golfing community, not just the Wednesday School of Excellence. According to me, you do not fit to be a part of the golfing community, because integrity means a lot. We do not want cheaters on the golf course. We believe that everyone will be truthful. Respect is number 2. So listen, let's all show each other respect on the golf course, regardless of our titles out there in the world. On the golf course, we are all chasing one small ball. And then the other thing that he mentioned is how they help each other grow. if there's anything that I would like to see in every single golfer is growth, and growth goes not just with a handicap, but it grows with your etiquette as well. You know, when you walk into a golf course, there's a lot of things that you will learn that will also directly relate to your everyday life. So, ladies and gentlemen, let me not take too much of your time. Like I always say, if you're working tomorrow, which is Thursday, please, please make a plan. Make a plan. People are playing golf on Thursday. If you're working on Friday, you definitely need to give me a call ASAP, because our weekend starts today. So from Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, you should be out there on the golf course doing your thing, enjoying life, making sure that you bring in more people into the golfing space. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, the one and only Tony Tone, the magician, the boy with a lot of play, the classic man himself, is signing out. Up until I see you guys next week.